People don't really appreciate that in an NIW more so than any other case. It's not about like what you've done in the past as much as it is what you will do in the future.
Mhm.
It's future oriented, right?
Yeah.
And so then I also ask them either during that call or for a second call, tell me what you're going to do in the future. Like how, in terms of national importance, can you swing this? Like, tell me your 5-year plan. That's really what I ask. And
Mhm.
so when you go in depth like that, then you kind of get a better gist of whether they're an NIW candidate or not.
Yeah, that's so true. There's this idea of like, oh, I have high citation count, I get an NIW, but it's like, no,
Mhm.
it's really I propose to never be national in scope. And that's the main thing. And obviously, your background has come into play how you could execute. But if this national scope stuff doesn't work through, this Maradona star kind of goes back to the old standard. NISDA, which is much tougher as the way it's happening
Mhm.
right now based on that, based on the way
Yep.
they're acting.
Yeah. Well, and people view like EB2 is almost like an NIW as like, here it is, and then here's EB1A. So I'll just go for the easier one. But in truth, they're just apples and oranges. You're doing national importance versus your other criteria that,
Yeah.
as you mentioned.
How often does it happen where you'll recommend somebody do both of them? You have enough to maybe do both and see what works. Does that ever pop up?
I never do them at the same time. I just really, I think honestly, I don't want to take all that money and
Yeah.
just do that. I'd rather focus one energy on one thing. So really like what I'll do for someone that really is a great NIW candidate, but perhaps for an EB1A, they have to keep looking, keep working towards those, or just in general, get more recommenders over time, is get the NIW, lock in the priority date. So at least you have a place in line, and then progressively bolster your EB1A case, look for conferences, stuff like that, and get yourself going.
Now, speaking of conferences, do you use conferences for the NIW portion or as evidence? Or do you think that doesn't help? It depends kind of thing.
Yeah, it really is like a depends kind of thing. That's something for like well positioned, we could plug it in. But by and large, I like to keep things tight for the initial filing. But then when it comes to these like extracurriculars that you could jam in, that's something more at the RFE stage. If you get a lot of contests with well positioned, we're seeing a little more contests with well positioned, but still it's just the national importance stuff. So it's kind of everything else is kind of a distraction.
It's gotten so hard because I sometimes I'll read these AO cases and it'll be like, I'm like, that's national scope. What is your definition of national at this point? Like it just there's no standard there. So it really
Right.
goes to like one of those lawsuit kind of things. I'm not sure even if you can sue on that because it might say it's discretion or something like that on USCI's part. But if you have a good case that's like really obvious is national and a federal judge sees it, they might be like, okay, this is just like ridiculous what the standard they create, which is kind of a no standard at all.
Exactly. I mean, I think with both NIWs and EB1As, I think we're really headed towards some sort of watershed moment where we need to have another big decision where the hammer comes down from the courts. Here's Donisar. Here's the new playbook. And ever so slightly, every single petition just kind of pushes the boundaries a little bit more from USCIS's side. Like, how are we going to distort the meaning here from the regulations
Mhm.
until we just don't even know anymore what those things could mean?